Welcome back to Heroes Workshop. This is Stefano, aka Stealth. Today I'm going to be reviewing this printer that PioCreat sent me. PioCreat is a sub-company of Creality, for those that don't know. And they've made this new printer called the Halot X1 Resin 3D printer. They sent it to me to do a review, and I said I'd use it to do the detail pieces for my Doomslayer costume that you guys maybe have seen in my other video. I'm making the costume out of EVA foam. I told them that I would 3D print the details using the machine. They thought it was really cool. So I've already unboxed it and set it up. It's open, ready. Let's have a look, see what it has, what are the features. Let's get down printing. You got a bunch of supplies that they give you. They give you a scraper tool to get the prints off the bed. This is some funnels, paper funnels to put some resin back in your bottle. USB stick to transfer your files to the printer. Extra spare screws, some disposable gloves, some grease. And they give you also this plastic tray to catch the prints. I'll show you why. This is basically the print bed. This has a cool feature that it has like a cool release mechanism. See, when you alternate these flaps, it's kind of like a Ferrari paddle shifter. See that? So if you have something on the bed, you just go boom, it pops up. But remember, if you print something too small, it might get stuck. So don't always hope for that. Make sure you put, what's it called? Make sure you print with a raft. Is that what it is? A raft? Yeah, under your print. So that way it has more surface detail. So that way it can actually come off once you use the lever mechanism that this thing has. But we'll get into all that. I just like that. Look at that. That's so cool. I'm getting mesmerized by it. So this is the auto feed unit. I haven't installed it yet. So what the auto feed unit does, takes the resin from your bottle, you hook it up, so it'll feed resin into the printer and also warms it up. And then when you're done, it'll pull resin out of the vat and put it back in the bottle. This is optional if you want to use it or not. It's just a nice added feature. You'd also just pour all over the table here. No, I'm just kidding. You just pour the resin into the vat and then you just pour it back out into the bottle. So to install the print bed, you just open the printer. This has a very nice cover where it swivels open. I love this. This is so cool. 2 points there. You just line it up and it locks in. And then when you're done, you just pull it, lift it, and then pull out. And put it right in. Amazing. Okay, I'm in the Cheeto Box software. You open it up, and then first time it'll ask you what printer you're using. Add a printer. And for me, it's PioCreat. There it is. And there it is, Halot X1. So it's already in there. The profile's there. Makes everything easier. Okay, so I'm just going to leave everything default for the first print and see how that goes. And if I need to change anything, I will. Now that I got the printer set up with the profile, I'm going to open up a file. All right, I've loaded the spikes for Doomslayer shoulder pieces onto the platform. So I just copied and pasted them because I need 18 for both shoulders. So I laid them out in a specific way. I put them in the tabs here in between. So that way when you use the paddles on the side of the platform to raise and lower these tabs, it should dislodge each of the pieces to help them come off the metal a lot easier. So I'm just going to add some support so it raises them a bit. I'm going to go to auto support. I'm just going to leave everything default. I'm not going to mess with anything. I'm just going to apply. Select the models first. Apply. This is just the default auto support that it gave, which is fine. So this is just a quick setup. I'm not going to get into too much detail. Now I'm just going to go to slice and save. I already have a file here that I've done just as a test, but I'm going to overwrite it. Okay, so here's the file saved. Now I'm going to transfer this to the USB stick provided. I'm going to go to the printer, turn on the printer, see what the defaults are, see what the machine says and does, what we have to do before we actually start printing. And then if everything's okay, we'll print the spikes. And then if those turn out okay, we'll print the other details and then we'll put them on the EVA foam parts and see how they look. So you just load the files, go to print, and there's the Doomslayer spikes right there. And import the model. Okay, so here's the file. So you can see it loaded the file of the Doomslayer spikes. It shows the time. It should take an hour and 41 minutes And the amount of resin, it should be 57.54 milliliters, which actually is not that much, with a thickness of 0.05 millimeters. It's pretty simple. You just hit print, the resin will start auto feeding and heating it up even through the auto feed system, and we'll watch and see how it works. So you can see it's the vat that actually lifts up on this printer, and then the print bed, the platform, stays stationary, which is complete opposite of the other printers I've used in the past. Very unique, very interesting. You can see, here are the prints. They look amazing. For a first print at default settings, I'm very impressed. They look exactly like the model. So smooth and detailed and everything. Supports turned out great. So you just gotta see if this works. You just alternate the paddles. You get the pieces off. Look at that. That is amazing. So putting the pieces in between each of the slots there worked. It got them off so simple. Look, nothing stuck. I love it. That's awesome. So here are all the pieces that the Halot X1 printed. They did a great job. Like, everything printed so nice. Quality is really, everything's really smooth. So these are all cured. I put, like I said, showed you, put them through the curing station. So I have all the detail pieces ready to put on the EVA Doomslayer costume parts. So what I did was, instead of just gluing this directly from the resin piece onto the foam, I put EVA foam, kind of like a disc backing, to create the bridge between the resin part and the EVA foam part. I think this is a good idea, so that way it doesn't get knocked off so easily, because it'll still be flexible and the contact cement's flexible. So what you do is you take the detail part and then put some contact cement here, put some contact cement this side, put some contact cement on the EVA foam, and then glue it onto your EVA foam costume part. That way it's less likely for it to get knocked off, just if you were to glue it on directly with super glue or something. Okay, so here is the Doomslayer shoulder. This is the EVA foam. For those that are not familiar with what I do, I make costumes out of EVA foam by hand. So I put some contact cement for the areas that I've already marked for the spikes. When I actually built this, there's already contact cement on the spike, so all I gotta do is just stick it on. And look at that, it brought this shoulder to life with these spikes. These spikes are amazing. So I put on the detail pieces on the other EVA foam parts. So there's the two shoulders. There's some top details there. Here are the forearms. These are really cool. These are probably my favorite part. So a lot of these nub details. I actually missed one right there. There's one in between these two. I'll print it later. There's more things to print for this costume. I'll print that in the next round of printing. So here's the other form. This is the left form. I like this here. That's really cool. The knuckle details. These are the knuckle details. Those are so cool. The right form is probably the coolest one. Look at all the details here. Little spikes. Everything. That's amazing. So here's the torso. Not much here, but pretty cool details. Chest detail here, and then the upper area here, and then this little detail here in the middle of the chest piece. That looks awesome. So good. So I left a gap there. There's a hole.
So I'm gonna put a light there, an LED light, because I think it lights up in the game, just to give it a little bit of a cool effect. Now for the last thing I want to show you, I made this Batman cat cowl for my cat Leonidas. Also resin printed, of course, on the Halot X1. I painted it black with acrylic paint just to give it that cool effect. Looks so good. The quality is so nice. It's basically flawless. I don't have to sand it or anything. Let's see if he likes it. Good deal. Meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow. Meow. He doesn't like it. That'll be the last time he ever wears it. But he did wear it once, and it fit him perfectly. So that's it for the review on the Halot X1 Resin 3D printer from PioCreat. The machine did a great job. I honestly didn't really have any issues or errors. I didn't even read the manual. I just wanted to run it based on what the machine said when I turned it on and everything. And it was pretty straightforward. It comes with the auto feed unit, but to be honest, you can just pour resin right in the vat, and it has a drain spout. You can just pour back into the bottle. Make sure you have a filter on the bottle so that it doesn't pour back in any little plastic bits and stuff. Like, this machine is so straightforward and it's easy to use. Like, I'm just being honest, it's a really good printer. I'm gonna be using it for the rest of the Doomslayer parts. Like, what you see here is just the upper parts. Like, you see the chest and helmet and then the forearm and shoulders, but I'm gonna use it for other detail parts. So this is not done. You are gonna see this printer being used in my other updates for the Doomslayer cosplay. So keep an eye out for those. This is Stealth from Heroes Workshop. I'll be back soon with more Doomslayer costume updates. Please like, subscribe, and all that. See you later.
Stealth, answer me. Stealth!